I'm Katie Dykes, the Commissioner at the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. And today I'm so excited to introduce DEEP's 20 by 26 initiative. Our agency is setting 20 performance goals for process improvement that we commit to achieve by the end of 2026. And through this webinar, we're introducing them to you. DEEP has an extraordinary mission, protecting the environment, conserving natural resources, and ensuring a clean, reliable, and affordable energy supply for Connecticut. We are committed to continuing to improve our transparency, efficiency, and predictability of our processes because we know how important critical, effective process is to achieving our mission. The 20 by 26 initiative we're announcing today builds on the successes of our prior initiative, 20 by 20. In 2019, our department set 20 performance improvement goals to achieve by the end of 2020. These goals were selected to increase the transparency, predictability, and efficiency of the agency's work. I'm proud to share some of those 20 by 20 accomplishments here with you today. DEEP implements more than 125 different state and federal permitting processes. Before the 20 by 20 initiative, most permit applicants had no way of estimating how long any of those DEEP processes might actually take. So as part of the 20 by 20 initiative, we benchmarked each and every one of our permitting processes and established expected timeframes for decision for each one. For some permit processes, that means permit applicants can expect an instantaneous decision. For others, a reasonable timeframe would be 3 months. For some categories of permits, 6 months or even 12 months, depending on the complexity and the required public process involved in each one. As part of 20 by 20, we created an online dashboard so that DEEP staff and the public could see how we're doing in meeting those expected timeframes and where we can improve. Another key achievement of the 20 by 20 initiative was to reduce the number of long-standing permits that were pending for decision at DEEP. As of 2019, we had more than 331 permit applications that were still awaiting a decision and that had been submitted to the department prior to 2017. We committed to backlog reduction, and by the end of 2023, DEEP achieved a 63% reduction in that pre-2017 backlog. Another key accomplishment of 20 by 20, and probably one of the most well-received, was the establishment of a permitting concierge. The permitting concierge serves as the front door for DEEP, or a single point of contact for permit applicants and stakeholders alike to get quick answers, to figure out how to navigate DEEP's processes effectively. We found the concierge to be incredibly impactful, especially for projects that involve multiple DEEP permits. Speeding up processing times for DEEP review of contaminated site cleanups was another major 20 by 20 achievement. Before the 20 by 20 initiative, 85% of property owners reported that they had to wait more than 3 months to get an answer from DEEP about whether we would audit their site cleanup. By the end of 2020, we met that 90-day deadline 100% of the time. DEEP also adopted long-awaited regulations to provide greater flexibility and predictability to site cleanup requirements. For more than 8 years, stakeholders have been waiting for the approval of regulations, the remediation standards, and environmental use regulations. And we finally had those adopted by February 2021, and they're helping to transform brownfield cleanups across the state. Another critical success of the 20 by 20 initiative was the adoption of minimum spill reporting regulations, which finally clarified that de minimis spills, which used to make up 50% of the reports submitted to the department, no longer needed to be submitted. This relieved property owners of a burdensome reporting requirement for insignificant spills. And it also has freed up DEEP resources to focus on those spills that are the most impactful to the environment and human health. DEEP also made great strides in 20 by 20 with the use of information technology tools to enhance transparency and efficiency. We launched a self-serve natural diversity database determination portal that allowed permit applicants for the first time to get an instantaneous answer about whether an endangered or threatened species review would be required for a project. By 20 by 23, 261 NDDB determinations have been issued instantaneously through that portal. That's cut in half the number of NDDB determinations that DEEP staff have to process individually. And it's helped to speed up reviews for both permit applicants and DEEP alike. Also, as part of 20 by 20, DEEP shifted to online routing of contracts and grant documents. We launched an e-licensing platform for our pesticide program. These types of IT improvements have proved invaluable during the pandemic as DEEP staff and members of the public shifted to remote and online work. Also, as part of 20 by 20, DEEP launched our document online search portal, providing access to over 1 million documents for the public. This initiative also provided extraordinary benefits during the pandemic by avoiding the need for many in-person visits to the DEEP file room. In summary, through extraordinary creativity, initiative, and dedication, the DEEP staff, as part of the 20 by 20 initiative, achieved incredible successes, reducing burdensome paperwork and processing, and helping us to better focus our agency resources and efforts on achieving our mission. And now we're excited to build on that success. Today, DEEP is launching the 20 by 26 initiative, where we are committing to continuing our performance improvement success by setting new goals. Again, transparency, efficiency, and predictability are the touchstone of the 20 by 26 effort. Today, we are announcing 16 goals that DEEP is committed to achieve by the end of 20 by 26. And also, in the spirit of transparency, we are inviting stakeholders to help us identify an additional 4 goals that will help us improve our processes to better meet stakeholder needs. We're encouraging folks to submit those goal suggestions to us by May 1st by sending us an email at deep.20by26@ct.gov. The new 20 by 26 goals are numerous and they're ambitious. And they are collectively will help us take tangible and actionable steps to advance equity and inclusion commitments for underserved and disadvantaged communities. Will help us better connect Connecticut residents to DEEP's work advancing clean energy and environmental protection. They'll help us increase the quality and amount of information that we share with the public and the regulated community about DEEP's wide-ranging services, increasing the predictability of our regulatory actions and becoming more effective and efficient steward of our agency resources to better focus our efforts on the areas where we can have the greatest impact for environmental quality. And now I'm pleased to share those goals with you today. The first goal of 20 by 26 is one I'm personally so excited about. DEEP is committing to adopting release-based regulations by 2025 that will modernize our state's cleanup framework. Through landmark legislation in 2021, DEEP was authorized to develop regulations that will sunset the outdated Transfer Act framework and replace it with new regulations that establish a release-based cleanup program for contaminated sites. The release-based program will benefit the state in numerous ways by helping to bring our regulatory framework in alignment with that of 48 other states, by providing the same level of environmental protection, but with less regulatory burden for lower impact releases. And most importantly, a shift to a release-based framework will expedite cleanups of thousands of contaminated sites across the state, helping them bring them back to productive reuse. Our commitment to implementing these regulations is a commitment to continuing our strong collaboration, both with members of the legislatively established working group that has been giving DEEP constant input on the design of these regulations, as well as with the public as we move those regulations forward in 2024 into the notice and comment process. We are excited about including this goal as our first goal of 20 by 26, which signals our commitment to develop these regulations in a transparent way so that they can be adopted, timely adopted by the Legislative Regulatory Review Committee. Goal 2. DEEP will, through this goal, build on the efforts of 20 by 20 by continuing to achieve on-time completion of our permit applications. As part of the prior 20 by 20 initiative, we established those permitting benchmark timeframes for expected completion timeframes for all of our permitting processes. And now we are committing to achieve a 90% on-time completion of permits that are have expected completion timeframes of 3 months, as well as establishing an 80% on-time completion rate for permits in the other timeframes. These are ambitious targets, which we will be continuing to track on our online permitting timeframes dashboard. And we'll also be identifying process improvement strategies and other solutions to help make timely completion of these permits increasingly achievable. In goal 3 of our initiative, we are continuing to commit to reduction of backlogs of legacy permits. In this case, our commitment is to reducing the backlog of all permits that are with DEEP for more than 5 years, building on the prior 20 by 20 commitment to reducing the backlog of pre-2017 permit applications. And this means that we will achieve a 65% reduction in the backlog of permits that are older than 5, that have been with the department for more than 5 years. As part of goal 4 of the 20 by 26 initiative, DEEP is expanding our focus on enforcement. It's so important for both DEEP and the public to know where facilities are violating the conditions of their state environmental permits. This type of transparency is especially urgent in communities that are already overburdened with environmental stressors. DEEP will be increasing transparency with more information about non-compliant permitted facilities. We will publish a list of significant industrial users whose wastewater discharges do not comply with federal standards. We'll create enforcement mapping efforts for transparency. We will also finalize much needed updates to our enforcement response policy and our supplemental environmental project policy to incorporate projects that benefit environmental justice communities and climate resiliency. Part and parcel of strengthening enforcement is expanding compliance assistance, which we know is critical to help avoid the need for enforcement action. As part of goal 5 of 20 by 26, DEEP will centralize all of our compliance assistance information into one webpage hub with links to compliance tools across the department, information on the most common violations for certain types of permitted facilities, and access to updated guidance. DEEP will also establish an online complaint intake system for programs that do not currently have one to help make it easier for the public to report potential issues. Goal 6 of the 20 by 26 initiative focuses on financial assurance. Financial assurance tools are critical to help provide for dollars held in trust if a remedy fails or a permitted action is not completed. Quite a number of programs across DEEP use financial assurance mechanisms, and our goal has been to strive for more consistent use of those mechanisms across existing programs. And we expect more programs are likely to utilize financial assurance mechanisms in the future. DEEP will advance process improvements to standardize the menu of financial assurance instruments agency-wide and develop a financial assurance webpage hub with centralized information for users and clarity about which tools are appropriate for which programs. As part of Goal 7, DEEP recognizes the historic signing of Public Act 23-202 by Governor Lamont. This law strengthens Connecticut's primary environmental justice statute, enabling DEEP and the Connecticut Siting Council to consider the cumulative impact of environmental and health stressors when making permit decisions for certain affecting facilities. The Public Act requires that DEEP draft regulations to ensure these changes can be implemented. And as a part of the 20 by 26 initiative, DEEP is committing to develop these regulations collaboratively and transparently, conducting listening sessions with communities and with regulated entities to ensure that we achieve the right balance as we move these regulations forward. Related to the goal to that is our next goal, Goal 8, in which DEEP will foster environmental justice public participation requirements that are effective for communities and predictable and understandable for applicants. DEEP is developing guidance on public participation for its new webpage. We are making available all EJ public participation plans and community benefit agreements for greater public access and more transparency. Deep will also produce other tools that facilitate efficiency and engagement. And we're excited about moving these efforts forward. As part of Goal 9 of 20 by 26, Deep will continue to advance transparency by digitizing remaining large record sets, including underground storage tank and PCB documents, as well as creating additional map viewers so that stakeholders can utilize Deep's geospatial information to make informed environmental decisions. Building on that effort, in Goal 10, Deep will commit to developing a platform that integrates e-permitting, e-payment, document filing, and data management across Deep's programs. Deep will also adopt a streamlined docket system for our critical adjudications work. We know how important and effective the use of IT tools can be in advancing the efficiency of our programs. In Goal 11, Deep commits to cutting in half the time between when a grantee submits an application or a contract is initiated and the time when a contract is fully executed. Deep enters into hundreds of grant contracts and agreements with stakeholders every year. And we are excited about adopting new digital solutions to support the processing of these grants and contracts, as well as creating templates for some of our most frequently used grants and contracts. In Goal 12, Deep will build on our popular client concierge service by expanding it and extending it not just to business applicants, but also to municipal partners who play such a critical role in carrying out Deep's mission, and to small businesses who may benefit from a little extra technical assistance in navigating Deep's permitting processes. We're excited about this initiative because we know it can help build on what's been a very well-received service to enable Deep to more effectively deliver timely permits. In Goal 13 of the 20 by 26 initiative, Deep will expand on our commitment to stakeholder engagement and more effective communication. This means ensuring that constituents have access to the contact information and organizational charts to find the right staff, the right person at Deep to respond to their inquiries. This means making sure our web pages are accessible and easy to navigate, and that the many newsletters we provide to the public hit areas of key interest, especially with the retirement of more than 100 veteran Deep staff in 20 by 22. We've heard from so many across the regulated community about the need to have more effective ways to find the right person to do business and get information from Deep, and we're excited to move this forward. In Goal 14, we know that decarbonizing our grid and our economy depends on effective permitting and siting processes for new clean energy resources. I'm proud that as part of this goal, Deep will identify ways to streamline complex permitting and siting processes for renewable resources to help us achieve our statutory goal of a zero carbon electric supply by 2040. As part of Goal 15, Deep will be advancing new tools to help better connect individuals, businesses, and organizations with the multitude of incentives, grants, and other resources administered by Deep, as well as available through the federal government to achieve a cleaner and more affordable energy supply. As part of Goal 16, our final goal announced today in the 20 by 26 initiative, I'm proud that Deep will be committing in the 20 by 26 initiative to expand our partnerships with the private sector and with nonprofits in our outdoor recreation mission. Deep recently launched a request for information to seek proposals for partnerships with our parks from the public and strategic partners. And through this effort and through this goal, Deep will be streamlining the process for doing business and partnering with our outdoor recreation division. So these are the first 16 goals that we're proud to be announcing today as part of the 20 by 26 initiative. They're ambitious, and they will be very impactful as we achieve them over this next 2 years. But importantly, we want this effort, the 20 by 26 effort, to reflect not just the commitments of Deep, but of our valued stakeholders. And so we've set aside goals 17 through 20, and we're soliciting ideas from our stakeholders about the last 4 goals that we should adopt as part of this initiative. We hope that you will give us some great ideas about what process improvement steps would be most valued by the public. And you can submit those suggestions before May 1st through DEEP's email address. It's deep.20by26@ct.gov. In addition, I'm proud to share the next steps of this process. In keeping with our commitment to transparency, we plan to publish quarterly reports of DEEP's 20 by 26 progress. And of course, we will issue a final report at the end of 20 by 26, where I expect we'll be celebrating amazing successes across all of these goals. To receive these quarterly reports and follow along with our progress, we encourage you to send us an email to sign up for and get these reports in your inbox. I'm so grateful to the support of our amazing staff here at DEEP, first and foremost, who have identified and are championing and taking on all of these goals. And I appreciate the support of the public and all of our stakeholders as we strive to achieve them. Thank you so much for listening to these goals, and we look forward to sharing our progress on this initiative as the months unfold. Thank you.